Hello, my name is Bo. I'm playing Valorant and I've been a pro player for 3 years.
Well, my name is Masa. I play Overwatch and I think I played for 6 years.
So I'm Cactus, professional Rainbow Six player since 4 years now.
I am Gabor Molnar. I am 28 years old. I am an esports player and I am the head of the esports in the Domination esport team, owned by and founded by Dominik Soboslai.
So when did you guys start gaming?
I started gaming with my dad like very young, like around 5 or 6, something like that. And I was playing like on PlayStation 2. And I started playing on PC like when I was 8 or 9, something like that. And I started playing like Call of Duty.
Probably like ever since I was like 6 or 7. Ever since I've been able to hold a controller, I've been playing like games as a hobby.
I was 5 years old when I have installed the first FIFA series, which was FIFA 2000, and I was playing with my friends on my PS1 or PS2, and every year my parents bought this game for me.
And when did you start playing the game that you are a pro in? And were you good from the beginning, or did it take a lot of practice?
I started playing Valorant like 1 week after the beta release. I just played the game for fun, then I noticed that I'm good, then I found some Lithuanian friends to play with. We started playing tournaments, we won some of them.
I was horrible at the game when I started. I think I started playing like 2016 or something around this time, and I was like in diamond rank, which isn't like really good.
So I started playing like from the closed alpha, so a very long time ago. But unfortunately, I did like a bad decision because I stopped playing the game like the first 6 months when it got released. Obviously, when the game came out, we played like for like a month, like every day. And after we were like a bit bored, so we were like, yeah, we will switch games, you know, it was like always the same. So I stopped playing for like 6 months.
So what would you guys say is more important, talent or hard work?
I think hard work for sure, but like just hard work is not enough. It's usually a combination of both.
I think you need really both, at least to be like, obviously like at the very professional level, you really need both.
I feel like it's like 50-50. You have to be talented in a certain degree to be like really good, but at the same time, like even it doesn't matter how talented you are if you don't put in the work to like make yourself the best.
And what was your first experience playing competitive esports?
One of the Ignition Series events where we qualified through open qualifiers, like playing until 5 a.m. and then getting to the event like in early 2020.
When I saw that my friends didn't want to play against me because I was better than him, I was looking for different competitions in our city, and we were organizing little tournaments to maintain our performance and interest in the game.
So as a full-time professional player, how many hours a day do you have to work?
During my peak time, I think we had like total average daytime could be like at the worst like 12 hours a day.
For like standard pro teams, it's usually 6 hours a team for 5 days a week. But if you add some individual training, yeah, I would say it's very close to a normal job in the end.
Would you in theory have time to pursue education like university, for example?
Yes, I was attending a sports management course. So after that, I had time to focus on streaming and stuff like that. So it was from the university straight to the esports scene.
I was actually in university until the beginning of this year. I didn't have much desire, so it's impossible then. Like if you don't want something, like there is no way you can find, I don't know, energy in yourself to force yourself to do it.
Personally, I was like doing that as well, but I stopped because it was too hard for me because I was living like 1 hour away from my school. But overall, it's very hard. Like you need to be a really hardworking person because that's 2 things that give you daily stress, obviously. So you have to perform on screen, you have to perform on games. And if you're doing like hard studies, you have to perform at school as well. So it can be very, very tough on long term.
Can you guys describe your daily routine as a pro?
I was trying not to wake up too early because scrims start around 14 up to 22 in the evening. So it's not that good to wake up too early because obviously you need to have your form for the whole day. So I was usually waking up at like between 11 and 13. Always try to take breakfast before the first scrim to have a bit of energy. After that, usually have 1 or 2 hours break. So usually try to have like a first meal of the day, then second scrim, and after the second scrim, have the last meal of the day. So around like 23 or something. That's a bit late, but you get used to it usually. And yeah, like bedtime around 2 or 3. To be sure that not to wake up too early as well.
It's nothing special. I usually work out maybe 3 or 4 times per week. I am also playing football once or twice a week. I'm managing my days quite easily because I don't have a strict timetable, so I can focus on different things also.
Is being a professional esports player stressful?
Yes and no. It kind of depends on the person. Like if you're more carefree, like it's really fun. But if you take like all the losses like really personally and you let like deranged people on Twitter get into your head, then it can be like really stressful.
Yes, of course. It's quite stressful because you see the negative things on the forums, also the positive things, which is better, of course. But yeah, the computing is really stressful because there are small margins in the game, and it can be quite frustrating to lose by a goal or penalty shootout. But I always think about that the master degree was harder than competing. That's the thing which is always in my head during big tournaments.
What is more stressful, at least for me, was to deal with personal stuff around esports, because esports is like obviously taking a lot of time, a lot of commitment. But for the game itself, I would say it is, because obviously you have to perform, it's competitive. So every day you need to do better than yesterday. But I would say overall it's still a privilege, obviously, to do that kind of work. Like a lot of people are dreaming about that. You can make good money of it. Super nice, like to go and to speak every day, to practice with people you enjoy playing with. That's something that most people can do in the world, in their work. So I would say it's still very great despite the stress.
So as a professional esports player, does it feel like you're getting paid for a hobby, or does it feel like a real job?
It feels like it's a job for sure.
I would say I always took it as a job. You have every part of a job. You have the working time as team, individually working time, and you have the staff taking care of things for you. You have to develop your social media, for example. That's things that require knowledge and work time as well.
I feel like it started as like getting paid as your hobby. It's like really cool. I get paid to like play a game that I like. But at the later stages of my career, I'm just like I'm just here to clock in and clock out. Like I just don't have any passion left anymore for it.
Was there a point at which you didn't enjoy playing the game anymore?
It happened like that with CSGO. I was playing CSGO, I was trying to become a pro, I didn't. But like the reason I stopped kinda was the exact reason as you asked, like I just stopped enjoying the game. But with Valorant it didn't happen yet. Like I enjoy playing the game.
2022, when I played in the Vancouver Titans, I just realized that like I don't like the game anymore. Like it just wasn't fun for me anymore. And I realized like I would enjoy my time doing literally anything else than playing the game like so much. So I just decided to like just retire, so I have more free time on my hand to do stuff that I actually enjoy doing.
Sometimes, but when I feel this moment, I always think about that there would be a lot of harder jobs, and I just switch my mentality from the negative side to the positive side, because I'm playing with this game, I earn money from that, and I am so blessed to do that.
So how long would you say can a career in esports be?
I mean, it's hard to tell, obviously, because the sport is like really new. But if it lasts, and I think it will last, I would say you could make your whole life in esports, to be honest. But of course, you need to combine that with studies, like to have something to bring. I've seen like players who turned into coach and then into general manager, for example.
I don't know, and I don't think that anybody does know. Like people say it's like to 30, 35, something like that. I mean, obviously you can see players playing after 30. It's usually like IGLs who are impacting the game more with their brain rather than hands. But at the same time, I think the reason people like fall off around that age is not because they become too slow or I don't know, any other reasons. I think it's because they just start wanting other things in life. They want family, they want, I don't know, stableness, they don't want to travel that much. Like, I think that's the reason most of the players fall off step by step, not because of physical or psychological things.
In FIFA, we don't have an exact time. So I'm 28 years old, competing nowadays also. You don't need good reflexes like Counter-Strike because FIFA is a slower game. It's like chess. You need to think about your opponent's moves.
And so the question everyone has been waiting for: how much money can you earn in your esport?
I think it really depends. In Europe, on a franchise level, average salary would be like, I don't know, like 7,000 euros, I think. Obviously, you need to pay tax. Like all franchise players are based in Germany, so they need to pay German tax. And then, like outside of franchising, like tier 2, like Spanish leagues, French leagues, you know, all those leagues, it can go from 500 euro to 5,000. Depends on the organization, depends on the level of the player, not even in terms of the game, but like social media presence.
After I started to get really professionally in Penta, where I was earning 1k8, I was living at my parents as well, so it was really comfortable. Obviously, it was of the middle of the pandemic as well, so not like we had money to spend like in vacation and stuff, so it was really nice. A lot of savings were made from me in that part. And in Vitality I was close to 3k, but I was living on my own this time. But yeah, Vitality was the highest salary I had.
You have to rely on different things. You have to rely on sponsors, you have to rely on your community and through your stream, and you have to rely from the esports team. Together, I would say, start of the season, maybe I can earn 2,000 euros. At the end of the season, when the hype is over, I'm earning maybe 1,200 euros. It depends of the hype and depends of the season.
Public information is like back in like 2020 or 2019. I think the average salary was something like 80k, but nowadays I feel like it's much lower.
And is there a huge difference between regions and levels?
I would say yes, because in England or Germany or Sweden or France or Spain, the clubs are nowadays investing in esports. We talk about the classic clubs like Manchester City, PSG, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, like back in the day, it used to be that like even tier 2 was paid like pretty well, that you could be making like 20 to 30k a year, which is like pretty like basic salary, you know, in Europe. And nowadays, like nobody gets really paid in tier 2 Overwatch unless you win like a tournament. But like tier 1 in Overwatch League, for example, like there was rumors, I do not know, but like some people were paid like 300k or something like that. So there's like a huge disparity between.
And what is the best and what is the worst thing about being a pro esports player?
I think best thing is that like this was your dream and now it is a reality. Something that you wanted so badly happened and now you're experiencing it. And the worst thing, that's psychological pressure. I didn't experience much of it, but I know people that did.
And the best thing is like you get paid to play video games. Like that's the dream for like every 18-year-old. Pretty much, and you get to travel and like see the world a little bit. Usually it's all paid and stuff like that. And the worst part is like you just don't have any personal time. Like for example, if you have like a relationship, like it's gonna be like really rough and like maintain friendships and stuff like that, especially if you have to move somewhere. For example, a lot of like Europeans, Koreans have to move to like NA to compete. So that's like the hardest part.
The worst thing, you have to rely on the game, and of course the most positive side, that's your hobby is your job. It's a lucky thing.
I would say the worst, it's only about performing. So of course, like it brings stress that a normal job doesn't bring, because a normal job you're getting paid for a task, and for a professional player you're getting paid to be better every day. So that's very different things expected from you. That can be very hard sometimes. You have to be really strong mentally for that over the long term, especially. And the best part, well, like I said before, it's you get the chance to play a video game for a living with most of the time people you enjoy play with friends. But that's still like a huge privilege in life. So be able to live from a video game is like insane, to be honest. That's insane opportunity that you won't get later in your life. So that's something, yeah.
If you could go back in time, would you still want to become a professional esports player, or would you try to pursue something else?
I would invest in Bitcoin and become a millionaire that way, to be honest. But like, yes, I would do it again. I had a good time there, so I really don't have any regrets in that regard.
Yes, I will still try it because I'm feeling kind of lucky that I managed to become a pro player, because otherwise I don't know what I would do.
I would say I would do the same, to be honest, because it made me evolve a lot as a person. I can't like come to a company and be like, oh, I did a 5-year study like my friends in real life, for example. But I would do the same still, because I think it was like great fun over years. I made money from it as well. So yeah, I think it was like still a privilege. So I wouldn't say no to that again.
Of course, I would stick to esports. Maybe if we go back time, I would start earlier. It would be easier to start YouTube 6 or 7 years ago, start Twitch 6 or 7 years ago.
Is it worth getting into esports now?
Yeah, of course. Esport is like expanding a lot recently over the years, and not necessarily as a pro player. Obviously, we have a lot of works to offer.
I mean, yeah, like my recommendation always has been like start it out as a hobby. Like if you just make it your first goal to just like grind it out and I want to be the best, I have to be on the best, like I feel like you're gonna have a bad time. Like start it out as a hobby and as a thing you enjoy, and then work from there.
I don't know if it's worth, but it's like asking, is this worth following your dream? It's unlikely that you are going to become a pro, because like just statistically, like percentage wise, it's like insanely low percent of people. But if you really want it, I think it's always worth it, because like it's your life, you decide what you want to do.
And lastly, what would be your best piece of advice to the viewers that aspire to become professional esports players?
To not give up things for esports at the beginning, at least. Like for example, studies and stuff like that, or even work, because it's really, you never know what's coming, because sometimes you're pro and like a month later you can be dropped for a team. So I think people need to be like super careful with that kind of decision. It can be life-changing, but it can be life-destroying as well, obviously, if you give up everything for that.
I would say to them that if I could do it, they can also do it. When I was 20 years old, I was at the uni. I didn't know what to do with my life, and I believe that esports will be a big story for me.
Just to have fun playing the game. If you're not having fun, that you like literally are seething out of your mouth and like foaming when you're playing the game, like just take breaks. It's okay. Like just don't overdo it. Take like even a month break is fine, as long as you keep your mental in check.
I think my best advice would be find people who want the same things as you, because there is a big difference between trying to become a pro and just being alone, or having people who share the same goal. Like that way you will be in a better place mentally, you will push each other, like you will have way more fun in the process. And that way, honestly, even if you will fail and not become a pro, you'll think, okay, I had a good time, we had a lot of fun, we had a lot of like progress, and okay, it didn't happen.
Once again, a big thank you to all 4 pro players for helping me out. The purpose of this video was to show a first-hand insight into the life of a professional esports player. Transparency is very important in these types of jobs, especially since there are a lot of young people who dream of becoming professional esports players or of a career in esports. And my goal with this channel is to showcase the positives and negatives of making a living in a way that is out of the ordinary, such as esports. If you like this format, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot and it reassures me that you guys like these types of videos. So thank you very much for watching and see you next week.